Okay, so this is Clint Eastwood's new movie, Juror number 2. Came out last year, and I watched it. I thought it was pretty good. Um, it's an interesting movie. It's, I'd say it's basically 12 Angry Men, but with a twist. And so I liked it, but I'll get into spoilers, but this is shown like almost right away. So he's chosen for jury duty. He shows up, he gets picked, and then you see him thinking about this case in a flashback. And also, he's an ex-alcoholic, and he, this woman is killed. She's found dead near the side of a like an overpass. Body's thrown over into like a river. She's dead. They blame her boyfriend, who has a history of abuse and argues with her all the time at this bar, and has a criminal record, and maybe connected to gangs. So he's blamed. But what really happened is this guy was at the bar. He has a kid on his way on the way, played by Nicholas Hoult, and he's about to have a drink at the bar, but he doesn't. He leaves. It's raining like crazy. He can't see that well. This girl was walking home because she just had a fight with her boyfriend, and he hits her, and then the body goes flying over the side, falls down. She's dead. Now, he wasn't sure that he hit her at the time. He thought maybe it was like a deer or something, because he looked around, he didn't see anything because she flew over the side. And then this starts this whole thing where he's, guilty, his conscience, he doesn't know what to do. He kind of tries to get thrown off the case. That doesn't work. And it's, is he going to convict this guy even though he knows he's innocent? But he may not be a great guy, but or is he gonna vote to let him go, or maybe have a mistrial? Excuse me. Have a mistrial, and then maybe they would retry the case, or they would maybe look for other people that did it, maybe him. So that's basically the movie, and I did like it. It's got a good cast. It has J.K. Simmons, Kiefer Sutherland plays his Alcoholics Anonymous or whatever friend that runs it. He's also a lawyer. And he goes to him and asks him about this, and he's basically like, well, this case is too big. They're gonna find that if they don't convict this guy, then maybe they'll figure out that it's you. So he's in a really bad bind. Drew Skide. He's in Halloween Kills. And Halloween, right? Yeah. Oscar. So I was like, oh shit, it's that guy. Cedric Yarbrough. Now, he was in Reno 911. Very funny actor, but he's not that funny in this. And basically, he thinks that he's a juror. He thinks he's guilty right away, and he doesn't change his mind. And basically, he is kind of keeps he won't budge, saying he's guilty. So there's like no way they're gonna get like an innocent verdict. It's gonna be a mistrial because most of the people think he's guilty. Nicholas Holt's like, well, wait, maybe we should examine this and think about this. Did they really prove their case? And it's 12 Angry Men, but But Cedric basically, Marcus in the movie, convinces him that he's going to that all the evidence that they continue to look at and re-examine, it doesn't matter. He's going to vote guilty along with most of the other people, and this convinces him that he has to, in the end, vote guilty even though he knows he's innocent. So it's actually a pretty dark ending, because he is a kid on the way, and he's like, thinking, well, should I do this or not? And if I, go and admit what happened, then I'm going to go to jail for a long time, because he has a history of DUI, I think multiple DUIs. So the Keith Sutherland, who's his lawyer, says that they'll throw the book at him. So he's basically screwed. And J.K. Simmons is in this too, as an ex-cop, and he starts doing his own investigations behind the scenes. And Nicholas Hoult follows him because he's doing his own investigations, which you're not supposed to do. And he starts examining the crime scene by himself, and he follows him. And J.K. Simmons notices that he's following him because he's an ex-cop. And then he goes to Nicholas Hoult and he's like, look, I looked into all of the car repairs at this time, and it would have been like, the front of the car. I mean, he said he's done this a bunch of times with him and his partner when he was a cop. And one of the cars has this description of your car, which was like a green Toyota 4Runner. Then Nicholas Holt's like, oh yeah, during, this period of like a week where the accident happened. And then Nicholas Holt's like, yeah, I did have to get my car fixed, but doesn't mean he really suspects him, but it kind of causes Nicholas Hoult to be even more paranoid. And then he ends up, J.K. Simmons is like, well, hey, I'll track down half of these cars and you do the other half, and we can work together. And he's like, okay, but then Hoult drops all the papers in front of a guard, and the guard looks at him and is like, what is this? And then this gets to the judge, which then ends up getting J.K. Simmons thrown off the case, because he also didn't disclose that he was an ex-cop, because they didn't ask. They just said, what is your profession? And now him and his wife run a flower shop. So, but yeah, and I was kind of like, which way will Nicholas Hoult go on this? But he votes to convict, and the guy gets life without parole. And his justification is, he's not a good guy. He has a criminal record, but, so do you, Nicholas Hoult, or Justin Kemp. And basically, will I go to jail for a long time, or will he? Because with all of this, Toni Collette there's a lot of things going on in this movie, actually. So it is 12 Angry Men, but there's a few other things. Like in 12 Angry Men, you don't really follow the prosecutor. She's the prosecutor. She's also running to be DA, so she's trying to be a politician with all of this too. So this case is really important. It's in all the newspapers. People are talking about it. It's this tragedy of this young woman who was killed by what she's accusing her boyfriend of doing. But then by the end, she starts to question all of this. And she even goes to the jail, and she's like, asks the guy straight up, did you kill her? And he says no. He's like, I know we had a rocky relationship, and but in the end, we loved each other, and we would break up sometimes, and then the next day we'd be back together. So but then she starts to question all of this, and then she kind of starts to think, maybe it's Nicholas Hoult that did it. This is at the very end, and in the end she suspects it. But if she does that, the guy just got convicted, so then he's in the system now, and then she would have to say, oh, I got this all wrong, which would then probably ruin her future political career. So a lot of different motives, and just personal reasons to basically be corrupt. It's basically like, will I be corrupt or won't I be corrupt? Will I choose this life with my wife and child and future children, or will I go to jail? So yeah, and then Kiefer Sutherland's in it too, and he basically confides in him, that he thinks he did this. He's not 100% sure that it's him, but yeah. And then this whole movie, when I was watching it, I was like, what is this guy in? This guy Marcus. And I was like, oh man, he's in Reno 911. And he's hilarious in that show. That's a great show if you haven't seen it. It's just basically these like totally incompetent police in Reno. But I was kind of interested in this movie though, because Nicholas Holt's gonna be in Superman. He's Lex Luthor. So I've watched him in a bunch of movies, like Renfield, he's good in. Nosferatu, he's good in. He's a solid actor. He's good in this too, I'd say. I'd say all the acting's really good. It's cool. Clint Eastwood. What is he? Is he 90? Okay. The end of next month, he turns 95. So it's like, damn, man. Still directing movies. That's cool. And it's a good movie. I mean, it's not like my favorite Clint Eastwood movie or anything. That would be Unforgiven. That he's directed, at least. But yeah, he's made, Gran Torino, Changeling. That's a good movie. $1 Million Baby, Mystic River, Unforgiven, The Outlaw Josie Wales. Play Misty for Me is an alright movie. That's his first movie he directed. Haven't seen Sully. I heard J. Edgar was bad. But maybe I'll try and watch that. I don't know. It's Leonardo DiCaprio. It's just J. Edgar Hoover. But American Sniper's good. Richard Jewell was good too. Which that's kind of interesting because Richard Jewell is about a guy who's accused of doing a bombing, but it's not him though. And that whereas this is about a guy who's accused of killing his girlfriend, but it's not him. So kind of some similar themes going on there. But yeah, I liked it. Kiefer Sutherland got his part by writing to Clint Eastwood, telling him how big a fan of his he was, and that he wanted to star in one of his movies before he retired. Kiefer's dad, Donner Sutherland, had co-star with Clint in Kelly's Heroes and Space Cowboys. The victim, Kendall Carter, is played by Francesca Eastwood, daughter of director Clint Eastwood. Oh, wow. I didn't realize that. That's cool. Giving his daughter some work. Toni Collette and Nicholas Hoult previously played mother and son 22 years ago in About a Boy, 2002. Yeah, he's the kid from In About a Boy. Director Clint Eastwood was unaware that Nicholas Hoult is the great-nephew of British actress Anna Neagle when he cast him. Eastwood was hugely impressed when he was informed of this during production, as Eastwood had watched several of her films as a young man and was a particular fan of Odette. I don't know who that actress is. Clint Eastwood is expected to retire after this movie. Oh, really? This is in the trivia on IMDb. And this movie, I remember back when it came out, I think in the US it didn't get much of a theatrical release. Budget $35 million, box office 24.8. It's kind of too bad if it's his last movie. Warner Brothers, who I think he's done tons of movies with. And I think he was kind of angry about that, but I guess they just didn't have faith in the movie, but it's actually a solid film. I mean, I didn't think it was like amazing or anything, you know, but it's worth a watch. It's like, I think it's like a little bit less than 2 hours. The film performed well at the French box office. But yeah, if you could do me a favor and smash that like button, that'd be great. It really helps the channel. But yeah, I mean, it's nothing, you know, you've seen these kind of movies before. It's like a courtroom drama in some ways. A lot of it takes place just with the 12 jurors in a room, 12 angry men. So, and then, you know, J.K. Simmons has his own little thing going on. Toni Collette has her own little thing going on. And then all of this is weighing heavily on Nicholas Hoult. And he's also thinking, you know, he kind of wants to go back to drinking because he's so stressed out. And it's just a terrible situation. And, you know, I mean, unless Toni Collette then tries to get the case overturned, which would destroy her career, and then go after Nicholas Hoult, which, you know, in the end, it's kind of ambiguous if she's going to do it or not. And then this will weigh on Nicholas Hoult for the rest of his life because the guy's in jail and he didn't do it. So, but it's a nice little film. I enjoyed it. Yeah, Juror number 2, Clint Eastwood. If you're a fan of his, I'd say check it out. Especially because apparently he's going to retire after this. So, I guess we'll see if that happens or not. But, yeah, and another movie I liked of his was The Mule. I thought that was a solid movie from Eastwood too. A lot of times that's how I think, like, solid movie. Some are better than others, but you know, he's made so many. But yeah, that's about it though. I'll see you next time.